Okay. So who's on?
Alex, Carol Ann, Courtney, Gabriella, Jennifer, Abels, and Regina.
Regina.
Hi, friends.
Well, I don't think you'll be able to.
It's okay, it's okay. Don't put them on the spot. Don't put them on the spot.
No spot.
No spot.
What they put in the chat.
Yeah.
No spot at all.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh, and Heather is there too.
Yay, Heather! Fun. Hi, friends. We miss you all. Happy to have you on with us, connecting in this way. That's so fun.
Make sure this is up. Okay, so let's just take a moment and just connect to the energy of Satsang. And just let's have an intention to connect to the personal format of the Lord. So there is both. You can connect to the Deva in a personal form, which brings a lot more sense of lightness and warmth, connection, kind of a personal touch to your path and the feeling of being guided. And the more formless or universal aspect of the divine will feel more or less like an out of reach kind of, maybe not even a presence, but something that's pulling you in a certain direction. So one feels like it's just there as a magnet, if you will, and the other one feels more like a guidance, a grace, a pushing, sculpting your decisions and helping you with, with your life trajectory, your practice, your everything. So let's connect to that personal aspect of the Lord or the divine, whatever term is meaningful for you. And imagine that in any form in your own heart, growing, expanding, resolving any difficulties, and making your life and path full of ease, grace, flow, goodness, virtue, full of love, full of devotion, full of sweetness, It's important to note that when we chant a mantra or do whatever practice, but let's just say with chanting, you're invoking a particular kind of energy or vibrational package to kind of open within you, bloom within you, to help you expand and grow. So even though we are pointing to, and they are also a part of these cosmic principles that are really hard to put into words and really hard to make sense of, there are these personal elements that are easier to make sense of, easier to connect to, and to have a part of your life and to cherish through your life. So it's not so much like it's universal and without the personal. Just think about it this way. If you do or don't reach liberation, your body in whatever form, physical or subtle, will still exist and play the game. So the difference will be, with enlightenment, you will understand, you will experience your universal nature, but still come through in a very personal format. So when we are not, so to speak, enlightened, when we don't realize or experience or connect with our true nature, then we do not really know of the universal aspect of our being. This is what gives us a feeling of overwhelm and fear and difficulty, low energy, moodiness, depression, you name it, it's all there, because we're not aware that we can withstand it all. This is on some level of breaking it down to a smaller aspect here. I'm not speaking to the fullest, but when you are aware of more of your cosmic form, you don't stress about all of the normal things that people would typically stress out about or feel overwhelmed by. When we have this kind of personal or divine personal connection, it's something where if you were to reach enlightenment and that power was flowing through your locality and acting in ways that it would act, maybe not according to your personality structure right now, but it would express in whatever ways that it was just the nature for. It was designed to express this way. But this universal kind of seamless, formless backing would be just emanating through. So with a particular mantra, or with a yantra, or with a tree, or with a flower, or with a person, or with some cosmic form, like the sun or the moon, or some aspect in our our own kind of experience, the universal can be there pouring through in a form, very personal way. So this non-personal, universal, hard to grasp aspect can be coming through, and there can also be a personal aspect. So the difference is that when you're operating as a personal aspect, you wouldn't forget your universal aspect. Whereas with a personal, as we would look at as a person on earth, a personal aspect, without that universal backing, we don't remember anything. We just think we're this little form tied to the form, which creates such really a complex way of experiencing life. There's a lot of mental and emotional processes that have to take place, and then we arrive at an assessment and respond and react to that, and when the world seems to respond and react to that, then we respond and react to that. It's just this constant back and forth of reactivity. So it can be done in a very different way. So we're not trying to push any element of ourself away for enlightenment. We are trying to kind of move beyond the way in which we experience ourselves. We're just trying to look for, with sadhana, we're trying to look for something deeper, something that's more, permanent. And anytime that we lean on something that feels a little bit more permanent, it just guides us in that direction. So we look at the surface waves of the personality, of the experience of our life that we have, and then we try to go a little bit deeper into it, figure out how we can be navigated in that direction. Your mind has the ability to flow out into the world, but it also has the ability to stop the flow and kind of harness the awareness, the localized consciousness that's flowing through the mind, kind of like a magnifying glass, and just turn it into a mirror and reflect it back. So you have the capacity to look at your source. It'll seem like a process to doing that because we're not just operating from that coming forward, because we're still stuck in the labyrinth of the mind, the maze of the mind and the emotions. But one, I think, good piece of advice is whatever is happening in your life, just look for, in all of the change and all of the chaos, look for the one thing that doesn't seem to change. Kind of adhere to that presence, adhere to that stability, to that aspect that seems to be beyond the ever-moving aspects of life and the people and the moods and the reactivities and whatever is happening that's allowed to happen. That's Maya. It's not supposed to shut off ever, really, unless you want to talk about Mahapralaya, but that's where everything's supposed to dissolve. But we don't need to be concerned with that because that's definitely out of our reach. So it's kind of like one of those pointless topics. All we need to understand is, kind of who we are now as a personality. Understand that there are energies and people and spiritual beings, subtle beings, and devas that exist, like divine forces that are personal and available and there to help you. And there's also this universal backing that's there that is beyond the personal, beyond the concept of a deva. That's like this, special class or this movement beyond the concept of the deva. So we have a lot of opinions and ideas of what these things are. And, quite honestly, it doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong. It's just the act of reaching out with your heart, with your mind, with your awareness, and trying to connect to something that's deeper. Sometimes you can find the deeper in you, and that's amazing when you can. Other times, it doesn't matter what practices people tell you to do. Go meditate and shut off your mind and watch and don't get involved and do yoga and do this and do some breathing, and it just doesn't seem like it helps. But choosing just to be open and connect with a good friend might offer some level of stability or excitement or understanding or a depth of awareness or compassion or a different level of friendship and lovingness than maybe you're not used to. Whatever the positive qualities are, just to be open to a friend or a puppy dog or a little lizard, crawling up a tree, or a plant might give you another sense of life that you're kind of not open to usually. And when you do that and you're open to it, it provides something valuable to yourself that helps to make you grow. If you can connect to these Devic forces, awesome, if you're conscious of it. If not, then anything is helpful. If you want to know kind of what it really means when you're truly connecting to a Devic force, your ego or sense of separation should just be stunned. It should be dumbfounded in its own process and be there should be an overwhelming state of blissfulness that just intoxicates and takes you over. You should stop dead in your tracks and just not understand what's happening, because you can't understand what's happening. So if you're having some level of that Devic connection, it'll be noticeable. It won't just be some subtle thing. It'll be noticeable, because it will make your ego feel stunned, like broken, like it can't operate, it's intoxicated. Something overwhelms and takes over. So how often does that happen for people? Maybe not as often as we would like. And that's one of the reasons that we're engaging in practices like this, doing our sadhana as best that we can, engaging as often as possible, just so that we can keep the mind clear, the heart clear, everything more open, so that we can receive. Imagine if, the Devic forces are kind of like weather systems. Just giving you some powers in this, but you're like closed all the time. You're underneath your egoic umbrella, just keeping safe, nice and safe, rejecting everything but safe, so you think. And we're just trying to like put the umbrella down once in a while. Just say, you know, this is the universal plan, let it rain, let it happen, let whatever come. And just practicing this level of openness to yourself, to other people, to life, to practices, to the cosmic powers that be, it really helps to change the way that your sadhana is operating within you. It changes your reach, your connection, the depth. So it gets you closer and closer to those Devic forces that ordinarily seem out of our reach. So when someone's meditating and they feel like their mind is just kind of shut off and they're just in this nice calm space and they feel like they've transcended their mind, 99.9% of the time that's not what happened. Their prana has just kind of balanced. It's a balanced state. Your mind stops thinking. But you're not stopped in thinking. You're thinking on other levels you just aren't conscious of. That's why you're not transcending that boundary. You kind of feel like almost in a space that's just not moving. It's just like everything's still and paused. You know, energy's not doing this anymore. It's just, you know, it might even feel like it just, you know, transcends, so to speak, the boundaries in the worlds and whatever. But what you notice is you don't necessarily feel overtaken by this power that has, you know, essentially taken over the machinery of the mind, the sense of egoic separation and the heart and the emotions and the way of acting. And it can a little bit, or it can a lot, or it can come into your view, but it's not directly manifesting within you. It's close by. So we're just trying to make it closer. You know, it's already within you, but that doesn't matter, because if we're not feeling good, we won't even admit that. You know, usually the admittance that people have is more to the sign of someone saying like, I'm so impure, God doesn't love me, won't take care of me. So we're on a totally other world level or bandwidth. We're not engaging with Devic forces. We are, you know, crying about our separation over it. So it's a process of overcoming. So it doesn't really ultimately matter about the types of practices that we do. What matters is the trying to find that consistency of a connection deep within to something that feels more eternal. You don't have to even call it formless. It can just feel good. It can feel pleasant. You know, a long time ago I used to think that the path, as I was approaching it, was more like some other level of self-absorption, which I guess you could say, you know, samadhi is absorption, so like self-absorption, but into different self. But it just felt like all I was doing was looking at the most pleasant part of the being and just allowing myself to merge with that and let it take over. It's not so much that you have to force yourself into suffering and deal with suffering. That's going to happen anyway. It's coming. So you got to go through it. You go through it. But you know, in the meantime, to connect with a happiness that is already within you helps you grow a relationship with what it is to be a happy person. And then you emanate that happiness. And when you're happy, you serve other people better. You'll feel like just how you engage with a plant is just more gentle and respectful. When you're depressed and upset, you might step on flowers and not really care. So just to tune into that aspect of your own being that you feel to you equals truth. Whether or not is absolutely truth doesn't really matter. So there's a lot of the mind that we have to traverse, and each one is constantly an unfolding process. So what was truth to you before won't be truth to you, even if the definition stays the same. Truth is formless, it's the infinite self, pure conscious awareness, and yada yada. It doesn't really matter, because it will continue to change, continue to open and expand, and then the definition of what is truth changes to a point where You might not have a word for it. That's more true than it ever was before. It just feels like something that you understand, but you can't really find the words to express. So the point with some of it is, we go through different chants, and we'll do some today, of course, which is heavily the purpose of this particular type of satsang style. A lot of kirtan or mantra, singing, just to kind of take that vibration through your system, through your being, and work with it. So all of these have some definition. They all have some connection to, probably all of them have some connection to like a Devic force, a Devic quality, a power, something that existed before all of these elements were created. That's more like a definition of Devic. It comes through the forms, through the sun, through the earth, through the wind, through the water, Agni Dev, so Devic force, that's fire. So it comes through all of these elements. It is all of these technically, but it doesn't mean all of them are in alignment with their Devic power. It's up to our way of seeing and trying to see it in this way that takes it to that level, to understand it on that level. I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced a fire as like a bonfire on a beach with a bunch of kids drinking. It's something like that. Or a family function and everyone's kind of got a fire going, but they're talking about pretty superficial and inane things. That does not feel like Agni Dev. Even if you try, it doesn't. It's in the wrong container. The consciousness is just suppressing its power. So who lit the fire is suppressing the fire. Who created the container that will hold the fire suppresses the fire. The world, the consciousness, the neighborhood you're in, a lot of the things suppress the Agni Dev principle. The idea of chanting and thinking this way is to be able to get it out of the box, to make Agni Dev be Agni as it truly is, infinite, fire. Not a little tiny bonfire, not a little tiny like fire on a candle or incense stick, even though that is also pure representation of Agni. But it's like taking it out of the box, all the limitations. What if everything was in infinite fire? That would be Agni Dev, realization. Beyond our concept of fire, beyond our concept of time, timeless fire. Something that existed before the beginning of time, beginning of existence, something that exists all the time. Not because you lit a match, it was already there. A match just showed it. It's like getting to that other level where it's not showing in the realm of appearance, the Maya, but it's just there. You have to light something, whoop, look at that. Oh, it's a fire, I got a fire now. It's like that came from what realm? So it's like traversing the realms and bringing it into this one. Just shows it. Same thing too with Vayudev, with wind or air, with any other aspect of the elements, So God is there. The Devic forces are there, but we have to do our part in taking it out of the box, because other people are likely not going to take it out of the box. So they'll just look at Earth as just this mud ball floating around in the space, and that's about it. And they'll exploit the minerals, the materials, do whatever they want to do on it. When it totally has to destroy, they get on a ship and leave and go to some other place, and it's just like the wrong mindset. We have to find kind of the glory of God within the earth. We have to see it within the air, have to see it in the fire, in the wind, in the water, in our own body. I mean, just going through this process, with Isha, going through now 6 weeks, pregnancy, 6 months, sorry, a pregnancy. So we go back and forth with like weeks and months, like, 25, 26 weeks, then we go to months. It just ends up going back and forth. But it really, when you're watching it and you're a part of it, it really just does show this, what I've always talked about, this autopilot aspect of life that just creates. You're not really in charge of so much. It's just creating. It's just manifesting. You're just kind of a witness to the whole process. And it's such a beautiful process, not just with having a baby, but with being alive. You're the baby. You're just at this level of how much you've been experiencing life. So you're the baby now at whatever age you are. So So, yeah. And some people have to move their car, named Sammy, before 6 o'clock. That was a part of the Satsang.
Oh my gosh. While we're shifting that to the personal, Anna entered the room just a minute ago.
Okay.
So, Anna.
So, a part of...
What did you say?
Anna had just entered the room.
Oh, hi, Anna.
So, a part of all of this talk helps us also to tune into just the magic that's within each person. So it's not just in the devas and in the fire and in the water and in the wind and in the earth, but it's also in every single aspect of your body, every single cell. All the elements are here. That means you possess and have the Devic forces. The question would be, have you taken them out of their box? Or do you look at your body that has the fire of metabolism and digestion as in neural conduction, for instance, and seeing, light and photon reception and all of these wonderful things? Have you taken it out of the box? Or do you just look at your body as, it's just my body, just Maya. I don't care if I live or die. That kind of, boring spiritual seeker, kind of wet rag to the party type response. This body, your own body, should be seen just like this little guy. Look at this little guy. These little bodies should be seen as amazing, in a way. This is your Devic force in this particular package as that exact puppy dog and as your own body. And your name is, in a way, your own Devic name. But again, have you taken your name and your body out of the box? Or are you seeing no Devic forces and you're just seeing it as a body separate from the Devic forces? How do you even do that? How is that even possible? It's like the creator creates everything and then you look at your own body and be like, but somehow this isn't a part of it. Or it's created, but it's just garbage. It's just Maya. It's just illusion. It's just, shedding your skin and your fluids and your muscles, as some yogis say, which just shows that they have not recognized any beauty in form. That's all it's really pointing to. So we want to be able to see the beauty in the form and call upon these personalized aspects of the Devic forces because this helps to make you feel alive. And if you only connect to the universal principles, some of those energies will make you feel alive and a lot of them will make you feel checked out. So there's a balance that has to happen. So even though we're trying to see the Devic forces within ourselves and within other people, this is a private, kind of quiet practice. You never obviously claim that you're Devic forces or something like that. If you are, everyone and everything else is. That's how it works. It's never you and not everyone else. That's when it's corrupt. So anyone thinks that they're like the full embodiment of, power and truth and consciousness and everything else is just Mayic illusion and pointlessness. There's something wrong with the layout there. The whole idea of your enlightenment is that you will see everything as light. Not that you are enlightened and everyone else is darkness. You'll see everything as light. And the game is that there's this concept of more or less light and dark. So not to keep everything moving along this same kind of trajectory of talking, but just something to consider so that this time when we're doing some of the songs and some of the chanting and the puja, let's try to look at it like this deep personal connection, to the, whether you want to see it as the personal Lord or, therefore we can call upon the personal arrival of the Lord, or we can look at it as whatever level of the Devic forces makes sense to you. It's up to you. But there can be a personal arrival, just like grace, where grace doesn't seem to consciously show up in life very often, but when it does, you recognize it. It's like, that was different. I didn't earn that at all. It's a grace, it was given to you. That's an example of an arrival of some sort of force or divine power, If you call it grace or you call it something else, it doesn't really matter, but it can change things in your life in such a way where it's just not what you were expecting. It's not a part of your timeline. It's not a part of your development. It's not even a part of what you've been doing. You know, you might have been failing a lot lately, and then all of a sudden something happens, and that's a very different thing. It's like a grace. There's two types of development. I'll make this short just because I don't want to keep going, but one is going to be a grace, you know, that type of development. You will have done nothing to deserve that. Nothing. There's no way. You can't calculate. It's not logical. It happens outside of logic. The other one is more like this hard-won or hard-earned development. That's the one you'll feel like there's some kind of, you know, we got some stake in the claim. You know, like there's this, I did that. I developed, I changed, I worked really hard, and I become different because of that. Like you'll feel that part. So one, you'll feel like there's a lot of effort, you know, a lot of sadhana that has helped you develop in certain ways. And then grace will be the one where, and there's different levels of the intensity of that, but just keeping it to the small levels, which is more normal for people. Even when that comes, it'll feel like, wow, what did I do to deserve this? This is not what I expected. This has nothing to do with my development. This has nothing to do with anything I've ever done. You'll feel like it's totally a different thing to any part of who you are. It'll feel like it came from somewhere else. It's an arrival of a force. You can look at it as a Devic force. You can look at it as, you know, however you want. Personal Lord has emerged. It doesn't matter really, but... So anyway, today we'll just look at it as we're approaching the chanting and the songs and our practices, and we'll do a little bit of an offering, a puja. We'll see it kind of through that lens today. Instead of it being so vast and universal and cosmic, and all of these are just pointing to cosmic principles, we're also going to talk about it or relate to it in our mind and our heart as much as we can, of course, through that kind of understanding that these are also personal, you know, divine arrivals. So we can commune with this aspect that can firsthand come and kind of help sculpt you or mold you in a certain way and help you fulfill your destiny. So let's just kind of have, again, just that openness in prayer, that prayerfulness to, you know, the divine personal. And just go ahead and ask that divine personal aspect if it will help you with your spiritual path, with your awakening process. Okay, so then with anything that we do as a practice, just try to see it today at least through that lens. first? Okay. Alright, so we'll start with an offering first. So again, let's try to see these as that personal representation of, Agni Dev. This is Agni Dev. And so we're asking for Agni to help us. These two?
Chanting.
Yeah. Do that. Just good enough for doing invocation and then song and then chant. Okay. Asking for the divine personal to be here with us. And just take the energy, bringing the divine personal into your life. And give this life.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Shanti. Sitaram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
So that will conclude tonight's satsang, and just take that fullness and love and light, the understanding and compassion in your heart, and spread it to others always. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll see you soon.